Guys, are you expecting Kroni to be out? Keep watching. Hi everyone, how you doing? Hey my lovely turtles. Um it's that time today. It's the time for the review for Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition. We are at episode 17. Sorry, we are at season 17, episode 8. It's called Breaking the Cycle. I call it the redemption of Vado or the exit of Kroni. Okay? Before we get down to it, let's get rid of the mishmash move on the side. So first of all, if you subscribe to my channel, why do I say my channel? No. We're gonna say if you subscribe to our channel because you guys made the channel for me. I'm just here doing what y'all want me to do. So if you subscribe to our channel, thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for rocking together since the beginning, and make sure you hit that bell so you know what's up. Also, if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also to share it so people will appreciate it too. All right, and also let's comment in the description below to let me know what you think about this episode and what I could have done, what I didn't talk about in a review, or what I could improve on. And also you can hit me on Instagram at the Barbie Girl. So this is out of the way. Let's get down to the review. All right, so this episode was called Breaking the Cycle, and really it was about breaking the cycle of the the childhood. So they're gonna talk about their childhood in the first exercise, and the second exercise is more like they're gonna have to be confronted by their childhood, almost like a reenactment of the what they've gone through their childhood by someone else, and then they're gonna have to express their feelings, kind of like let it out, everything they've been keeping in for so many years. But two main events that happened during this episode. The first one is the return of Vado. Shall I say the temporary return? I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. And then the second biggest event that happened is the exit of Kroni. By Kroni, I mean corrupt plus Tony. So they're out. So why are these two out? Because they couldn't stop arguing. I think Tony has reached the point where she's utterly frustrated, and then she checked out emotionally and everything else. And in the end, they offer her the choice to check physically. Actually, they advised her to check out, and she was quite happy to do that because she couldn't wait to see her children. I can't blame her. I mean, if someone doesn't want to change, there's nothing you can do for them. It has to come from them first. They have to want the change for it to happen. I think she's been dealing with it maybe for too long, and now she's at a breaking point. So kudos for you for finally stepping out to the left, right? So corrupt, corrupt doesn't want to get sober. Okay? I told you last week he was denying the fact that he was even an alcoholic. Now, at the beginning of this episode, we see him, he throws a massive tantrum because I guess Tony doesn't want to speak to him, and his excuse is like he doesn't want to get physical with her, so he needs to leave the house. She seems screaming, "You need to get me the hell out of this house." I mean, who does that? She's just like a kid who didn't get his candy. So like massive tension, right? So that was his excuse, but we all knew why he wanted to leave the house. I guess there was no brown liquor left, so he needs to leave the house to go get some, to get drunk, basically. The beer ain't strong enough for corrupt, all right? So Dr. Ish offers him a chance right there and then to go to rehab, and he doesn't want to go because he's not ready to get sober. According to him, he did it before, and I think he said twice it didn't work, so he doesn't want to go. Well, wish him all the best, and off we go. We move on. So we're gonna talk about the remaining cast, how they revisited childhood. So Vado, is it Vado or Vado? Let me know. Well, Vado is given the chance to come back to the house on a temporary basis upon condition that he completes the exercise for the task, and also that he shows remorse towards what he did to Tyree and apologizes. So it's all four, right? So he's in the house temporarily for the tasks, right? So the first task, they split the they split the couples into groups. So we have group number one, it's Shonda, Hazel E, Medina, and Vado. And group number two will be Willie, Phaedra, Devon, and Tyree. So group number one, we ask Shonda, they actually write on a card like what was the childhood like, not like they rather use images and then they verbalize it in like clear sentences. So what we got for Shonda was the fact that she was a daddy girl, but at some point when she became a teenager, her daddy didn't make her feel good enough about herself. So there was a lack of self-confidence and a lot of questioning about herself. And I guess every time that Willie cheats on her, that's how she feels. So the conclusion for that from Dr. Ish was like she married her father. To some extent, that's true, because most of us women, we tend to marry, not like we marry the man that shows the quality of our father. And for men, it's actually the opposite. They tend to marry women that really shows the quality of the mom. So I really wasn't surprised about that. It kind of confirms, that old saying. When it comes to Medina, I like Medina. I still like him. I think this episode made me like him even more. Knowing what he's been through for his childhood, he's been through a lot. And it looks like he did a pretty good job of himself, because no child should have to go through what it been through. It just shows that mental health is real, and it's really sad that it's not really taken seriously and discussed in the Black community. But his mom has schizophrenia, and because of that, she wasn't able to take care of him and his brother. He was exposed to things that he shouldn't have been exposed as a child, like homelessness, and he also saw horrible things. That were his words. He was exposed to so many horrific things. And when Dr. Ish asked him like to give examples, what he said was it witnessed his mom trying to sell his brother at the mall for some drugs. That just broke my heart, because it was like, wow, the act itself is just, I don't know, you cannot comprehend it. And then to have your son witness that when you're supposed to be the protector and the provider, like it's supposed to be safe with you, that was just a lot. That was really, really just a lot. And we come back to how that made him feel later on, when he actually during the reenactment of his feelings. Hazel E. So finally, Hazel E and Devon are able to participate this week. When it comes to the exercise. So what Hazel said was like, actually a mom jumped from one abusive relationship to another, and that's why she's controlling, because she doesn't ever want to be in a mom situation. We kind of make sense. So it's like, when you witness abusive relationship, from what I got, I'm not an expert or a doctor, but from the stuff that I've watched, the documentaries, and I watch a lot of crime documentaries. I ain't trying to kill somebody, but I just watch a lot of psychological stuff. And from what I got is that when you come from, when you expose this kind of detriment throughout your childhood, you decide to either be abusive or abused, so you can turn into the abuser or the victim. So I guess she decided to take control. So to some extent, she turned into the abuser. I'm not saying she's abusive, but she said she likes to be in control of everything. Okay, so Vado or Vado, I don't know. Vado. So he gave us a little bit of background regarding his story. He said his dad, that was his stepdad, was deported to Jamaica because of drugs, and his biological dad used to beat his mom. So that's another child exposed to domestic violence when growing up, and that made him angry at the police when that happened. So I guess he carried all that baggage that he enjoyed in his childhood throughout his adult life. Now the second task, we got Willie. Willie said that losing his granddad, it was like the glue of the family, and he also felt a lot of hurt, and he's been afraid at least 3 times when he was robbed at gunpoint. I can't imagine what that must feel like. It must be very, very terrifying. So Phaedra explained why she's such a perfectionist, and that also saddens me because no no African American child should grow up all the time being called the N word. And she was called the N word a lot when she was growing up, and her aunt was expecting her to always look nice and look a certain way, always look preppish so she can always fit in and not feel so different because they thought she was different. And that was just sad, and that explains the way she is. So according to her, so Devon said that his parents divorced when he was really young, and that affected him. So that caused him to act up. He built up a lot of anger towards it because his stepdad left. We come back to it later on in a reenactment as well. And Tyree explained that a drug was a drug dealer, and it's because the fact that he was arrested, when he got arrested everything changed, so that brought a lot of instability into her life, and at some point she kind of get got used to it, and she carried it from her relation into her relationships as well. So it's a lot of unhappy childhood and broken ones, and that result into, I guess, broken adults as well. Not a very joyful, not a very joyful episode, but a very deep one. So we get to find out a lot of things. So the second part of the reenactment, that's the part where they bring the kids, the to reenact as themselves when they were kids. So this time they added the little wheel, I guess, to add the jazz to it, the card that they drew on during the first exercise. So when it came to Tyree, she actually broke down. She broke down because she was in tears. She couldn't take the reenactment because it was so real. And Vado apologized to her. Um, so from that, Dr. Ish concluded that they both had no choice growing up. But it's true, they didn't. Both of them didn't have the brightest, the happiest childhood. They didn't have a choice when they're children. We don't have a choice as children, but as we grow up as adults, we get choice. So what about? I mean, but what about now? The childhood certainly doesn't excuse the adult when you become the behavior. I mean, when you become an adult, so that's to be revisited as well. So Shonda again is the reenactment of her low self-esteem. She lost her confidence somewhere down the line, and really felt like his life also became unpredictable the day it was that the day he was attacked by the at gunpoint, and that unpredictability led him to actually live the life to the fullest. So in his mind, it feels like if he wants something, he wants it right now, and he wants to live life to the fullest, and he says that's why he cheats so much. So both of them, they have a lot of instability in their life and a lot of instability in their childhood. You kind of result in the way they behave. So Hazel, he and Devon. Okay, when we come to Hazel E, so she explained already that she came from a violent household, and for that, her mom compensated a lot by spoiling her. And we actually find out how she broke her nose. When she explained this, I was actually feeling sorry for her for a short period of time. And she actually made fun of Shonda later of her story in the confessionals, and I was like, Azuli, you don't do that. It's such a bad look for you. And now you wonder why people don't like you, because you just have no empathy, and you want people to feel sorry for you all the time, and when you come to others, you just don't feel sorry for others. I don't feel sorry for you anymore. I thought I did, but you're just not a decent person. You don't do that. It's like, what could be a problem? Like, it's her problem, And if it matters to her, have enough respect and decency to, to just respect that. You know, actually, she broke her nose because she tried to break up a fight. She explained between a parent, and that's how I guess her nose got in the middle of it, and then she became nasal E. Shout out to Forest Rocks, nasal E, right? When it comes to Devon, it was spoiled. So he also got what he wanted because he used to throw a lot of tantrums as a kid to get his way. And then when he doesn't get his way, he gets angry, resort to violence. He punches the walls and stuff. He used to like his mom taking care of him. So that's why he grew up with that mentality of women taking care of him. Almost like a gigolo. So I mean, and that's what Ezoli, I guess, is doing for him. So we found that he's actually very immature and he didn't actually learn anything from the experience because he had a really bad attitude when Dr. Ish was trying to tell him about it. It's like, that was just so unattractive and disgusting at the same time. I don't know how Ezoli can deal with all this, but looks like to me it still looks very spoiled to me. I mean, if Ezoli like it, why not? But I ain't doing nothing for a grown ass man. I mean, grown ass man has to take care of me. I can take care of myself, but as a courtesy, well, that's what I'm supposed to do. So if I'm with somebody, I expect a partnership, not like another child. You know what I mean? So, side note: did you notice how the reenactment they brought like the girl that came out to act for Azuli? She looked nothing like Azuli right now. Does that mean that that's what Azuli looks used to look like when she was a kid? Anybody out there has pictures of Azuli when she was a kid? Because me, I like to see what she used to look like. Did she look like that beautiful brown skinned little girl? You know, that part was a bit intriguing for me, but we find out. If you know, well, hit me up with that info. You can post it on my Instagram at the Baby Girl, or you can also leave it. You can leave a comment. You can leave a comment in the comment section below. All right, let's move on. So Phaedra and Medina. So Medina came to the conclusion that he was actually neglected by his mom during his childhood, but he managed to turn that into something positive because he became very patient, and he also became a perfectionist because he never ever wanted to be in that position again. And when it comes to Phaedra, so she looked different, she felt different. That also led her to become a perfectionist. So they have that in common. They're both perfectionists. So they became, and that way, just to have the love from the family, from the people that supposed to love them. And it's really sad. If someone loves you, they should just love you unconditionally. It doesn't matter how you look, if you fit in, if you're different. I mean, when you're different, that's the beauty of you. We can't all be the same. We're all different. We all have different culture, different background, different personalities. We all like different things. I mean, diversity should be celebrated. It shouldn't be frowned upon. So I really hope that they really found themselves with that similarity, and that it will actually bring them closer together. I really want them to make it. I'm really starting to like them as a couple, and I really really like Medina after this episode. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that now. It's too much now. All right, so what's left now? So that was the crust of the whole episode. So the question that I have for you guys for next week are these, or for the comment section below, whichever. So what did you think about this episode? Next week is lie detector day. Oh boy, it's gonna be juicy next week. All the liars, all the lying skeleton are gonna come out of the closet, honey. And also next week, I think, is the before last episode. So from this episode, it's 2 episodes left, and then it's going to be the finale. And also, guys, you need to let me know what you'd like me to review once this ends, okay? Also, let me know who's your favorite person in the house. I think you already figured out by now. My favorite is Medina. What's yours? Okay. And also, was it right to let Kroni? Was he right to let Kroni go after the eruption of corrupts? So Let me know what you think. Do you think they should have stuck it together and trying to stay, or what do you think about this whole episode? So, like I said, it wasn't a very joyful episode, but it was very meaningful. It was very deep because we got to learn a lot about the characters. So that's it, my turtles, for this review. Let me know what you think about it. And if you're new to this channel, our channel, thank you for rocking with me from the beginning. If you haven't yet and you just came across this review by pure chance, well, you're welcome. Aquaba. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget as well to hit that bell so you will know what's up. Like, comment, and share this video so other people can enjoy it. And let's keep the discussion going on my Instagram at the Barbie Girl. Okay, thank you. I love you guys. Until next time. Bye.